I don't know. I don't know what they mean. Yeah, no, I got it. But I don't know what they mean.
Is that T?
Maybe it's Toda.
You know what? I think you're right.
The buttons are here.
No, it doesn't.
And this goes up there
Those
now.
letters
Yeah,
aren't very
to
good.
right here.
No.
But it may be Toda.
Forward,
Because I just now.
and this cranks it that way.
But that's supposed to be on the.
Then you can turn it. At the next question is, this
It's
should be the,
not this one?
and then it's this one, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that would be
Now,
more
there is a
sensitive.
rod that goes with this that helps you turn it if you want it. You want the rod?
I mean,
It's a rod that comes out to here and you just like that.
perhaps it would be easier, but
Let me
it's
go
not.
try it. I haven't done that before. Last week it tested and then untested, so I haven't really played with it.
The bar is a word, but you speak a word.
Maybe the rod is attached to here. No. It's. I don't know how long ago it's been donated. Yeah. And he did say that the performance on this thing was much clearer than the phone. So at least that's great. But it's just that not a lot of people have tried something like this yet. At least in this competition, I haven't noticed.
Ready by then, but it's not ready yet.
2 years, one more year.
We're on lesson 6 on we're doing it in. Wait, yeah, we're doing it today.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're doing final minute.
Yeah, we're gonna be on final minute, yes.
There, audio work.
Does it look like a tent?
Every week's a new journey.
We're all together on that. I mean, I'm trying to think what else it might be.
Right beside you. You don't read it?
Yes, as long as you gotta remember that it's got that little.
I guess what? We started learning that. It's not that she's Jewish. We just started learning together. And
There's just some people who did.
oh my God, she's so. I call her professor.
She was doing that for like the first few days. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
We
We're on chapter 14, so we're kind of like halfway through all this stuff. So, yeah, so we're still moving on.
So when we finish that one, what's the other one? So it's not everybody will take that one.
I think that's yeah, so. Yeah, to be able to help us out too, help everybody, so yeah.
You'll start another class.
Oh, here, let me give you this too. There was some colored parts that didn't come out, but I'm sure she will go over it. You see a little space, so it'll be, yes. Oh, the handwritten one? My cheat sheet, this is the one that I did. Is that anybody else? No, something else? Okay. That's why at the beginning I was telling one of the students, at the beginning, I practiced both of them. You know, when I was I practiced
They're all the hardest.
and the first.
Anyway, where the Jeroboam instead of Jeroboam. But they translated this as a J, and they translated this as a B. So I'm just telling you because if you wanted to know the real word, then you're going to look it up and you're going to go, oh. But that's how they get Jehovah out of Yud-He-Vav-He. Yud. So they start with Jehovah. Okay? Because we don't know how to pronounce Yud-He-Vav-He. We don't know how to pronounce it. But they're Yehovah. Yehovah is what, so they said Jehovah. And of course there are some Messianics that now try to pronounce the name. I think they know how to pronounce it a lot of different ways. So to each his own. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure how it's pronounced. But that's how they got Jehovah. Is because the first letter in Yud-He-Vav-He is a Yud and that's a J. And so, okay. So that's just something, information just in case. All right, let's try the other letters. Let's see, we've got, all right, I'm going to write them up here and you write them on your last week, right?
Yes.
Now, this class, I'm doing a little bit more in this class than I've done before to share different things like this because you're the smartest class I've ever had. Just so you know, next year will be the smartest class I ever had. So I just feel like, and I'm trying to write a lot of it down for you because even if I say things up here, sometimes you don't remember. I mean, same thing with me. You go to a class, you remember probably maybe 30–40% of what the teacher says, you know. So unless you write it down. So just some information, some simple things, so you'll be kind of grounded in the Hebrew. All right, so everybody got it written down? Well, make sure you, unless you want to come up here. You want to come up here and do it? Anybody? Okay. Somebody else's handwriting. Beautiful.
I don't know if I'm writing this correctly. We start with here and go up.
Oh yeah. Great.
We're writing the
Great.
car seat?
Yeah.
Things would be like that or that.
Either way. Yeah, or you'll see it with the top. Like that. Either way. So, anybody have any trouble with this? What is seen? It's on the other side. Okay, now, somebody, huh?
It's called sheen. Sheen.
Sheen and seen.
Oh,
Seen. I'm sorry, did I say it wrong? Okay, and remember, somebody asked me this just a minute ago. You will, here again, like I said, a lot of the not problems, but a lot of the differences between like how they transliterated it in the Bible and how they actually speak it has come from the fact they didn't speak it before 1948. Right? But it was translated a long time before that. So if you have a doggish in the top, you're going to see a T, but if you don't, you're going to see a TH. Okay? But they don't do that in Israel. They just make it a T. They just make it a hard sound. So, all right, let's look at our vowels because we're going to add some new vowels today. How about that? Yay! Are you getting tired of the eh? All right. Well, let's go ahead with the letter first. Okay. Do you have your sheets? Sorry. All right, so today we're going to do a final mem. Now, there are 5 final letters. Now, what that means is that you write the letter differently when it's inside the word than you do if it's the last letter. Okay? So, mem is one of the final letters. Now, they'll call it, you'll either see it final mem, or they'll call it mem Sophie. So you'll see it either way, final mem or mem Sophie. It just means it's the last letter. So the regular mem in the word, we just learned that last week. The mem Sophie. Now, when you look at it, like when it's printed, it just kind of looks like a box. But so that's why really the cursive is easier to know it's a mem Sophie. kind of looks like flipped cursive A. I don't know. This is what my granddaughter would do. She's got dyslexia. She draw her A's like that. So this is a mem sophete. Now, the sophetes never have a vowel. Okay? They're just sort of like the end of a word, like we do town. Okay? You're never going to see really towna. Okay? It's just the end of the word. Okay? And so the sophetes are just the end of the word. And you're not going to see a vowel. Now you might see a schwa, which we haven't gotten there yet, but and that's really only in one of the sophetes. I'm not even going to go there.
Okay.
Okay, any question about what a sophete is? You can see the others there, but we haven't gotten to them yet, so we're not going to really talk about them. Any questions on that? All right, so let's look at our vowels. So we're going to do 2 new vowels today. Let's do the shurits first. Shoe. Right. So, what do you think the sound's going to be? Ooh. It's an ooh sound. Most of the time when you see the vowels, you see an X, which stands for any letter. The problem is there's no way on my computer that I can do an X and then a vowel, because I have to have a Hebrew letter in order to do a Hebrew vowel. So I tried every way I could, and it was just too complicated to try to put X's. So if you see on my worksheets, I use an olive. Okay, but this is the way you'll usually see it. And then a shurig is, it kind of looks like a vowel, but it's not. This is the vowel. It's got the dot next to it. And you're going to pronounce it oo, and then you're going to transliterate it with a U. Remember, a, e, I, o, u. So, have we done the U yet? No. Okay, so I was trying to think of a word. Let me go back and see if we have one here. Oh, okay, this is one. We're going to get to this pretty soon. Okay, what is that? Oops, I didn't put the, I'm sorry. Lulav. Where do we use the lulav? Lulav, where do we use it? Which feast? It's coming up. But it's not Yom Kippur, so what's the next one?
What, Sukkot?
Sukkot. Sukkot. You're going to have a lulav, okay? The spices and, I mean, the species of trees or branches, and I'm not sure what all is involved with that. Okay. See if I can get a mem Sophie here. Okay. This one. This doesn't have this has an old vowel, but it's got the mem Sophie. What would that one be? Shem. So when you say Baruch Hashem, what are you saying?
Blessed be God.
Blessed be the name.
To the name of
So Shem is name. Baruch is blessed, or blessed be. Ha is the. Shem is name. Those should be the name. So Baruch Hashem. In Hebrew, the is attached to the word. Okay? Let's do. Okay. Oh, we can do this one now. Cool. We gotta do the next vowel though. Golly, we're learning a lot of words now that we can use. So the next vowel is called holam. Now, the holam is just a dot. So, it would be there or just, there. Probably there, I guess. Because, like, if you had, like, that would be vo. Okay? And it's an O sound. So you just use the O. But there's another way they write it, and this is a holam vav. So you'll see it with just the dot, or it looks like an I, but it's a, they call it a vav. It's not technically a vav, but the vav and the dot together is holam vav, and it's still an O sound. So this would be what? Vo. This would be vo. So now we got u, o. U, o. So we can read words like you're going to read my cursor? So what is this? Top. O. R-A. Torato. Torato. Normally when you see a holam vav at the end, it's, so in Hebrew they add on letters rather than say the whole word. So do you know the first one, what? Torah. What, and everybody knows the Torah, right? To is his. Torato would be his Torah. Torata would be her Torah. Torah nu would be our Torah.
But what it is called about?
A holam vav. It's a vav with a holam dot.
Is Torah something?
Huh?
What is it?
Torato is his Torah.
His Torah?
His Torah.
And how was our Torah? Torah new? How was
Torah. Our Torah. It's kind of cool in a way. They have things in the front, they have things in the back. I just finished a worksheet for you. It's lesson 16. And we go over finding the root of the word. And then if you know the root, or I'm going to show you when we get there how you can look up the root to see what the root means. Because sometimes you can take a word that's just a simple word and find a deeper meaning. That's some of the things I do in my YouTube videos. And that's what I like to do, is like to take a word. One of them is kind of interesting that I would never have dreamed, but once I saw it, everything made sense, and that is the word table. Table. Okay? Table is a shulchan. Shulchan. If you look at the word, it's shalach. I mean, if you want to go over this, it's on my YouTube videos. Biblical meaning of table. Shalach means send. Okay? And so a table is something that he sent. So when you look at, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies, if you think of it as the fact that God sent this, he's sending a plan. He's sending a plan before me in the presence of my enemies. It's not like we're eating a banquet. No, if you have an enemy, you're not going to just sit there and eat, although, I guess you could, but for the most part, he has a plan. And we really need to know that now as things get worse and worse and worse. He's giving us each one is going to have a different plan. Because when it comes, we have to be prepared. But what I do, what you do, what anyone else does is probably going to be different. But he has a plan. He sets a plan before us in the presence of our enemies.
So like you're showing the colon Bob versus the colon with the dot, how would you do the charette? How we have a dot upper left for the O, but where would it be for the U?
Oh, you mean like scene? Okay, so if you wanted to say, well, if you wanted shum, that's easy, right? Because you'd have, this is easy because the dot's over here. Som, I don't know if it's a word. That's what they would do for som. It's a shared dot.
So you would still have to use the vowel for the U. There's not just a dot at the top like it is for the...
Yeah, you'll see it like this.
That's a U?
That's
It's som.
But
This
we're-
would...
yeah, but that's an O, but what about for a U?
Like Sukkot.
This is some.
That's what's in the middle, right?
Sukkot.
I think for the shirt, we always keep it like she has it in the.
That's what I was
Yeah,
asking.
yeah.
Because how they have
Oh, the
two...
shirt.
Yeah, you
Oh.
have two options for
For the
Sholem, but
yeah.
you only have one
One
option for
option for
shirt. And
Right.
that's why I didn't know for sure.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, only one option for U, but two options for O.
Okay.
And I'm going to say unfortunately because most of the time in Israel, if you see it written somewhere, you're going to see a hole in vav. Okay? And if you look things up, like on your phone and stuff, you can put the hole in vav all the time. It doesn't matter if it's not in the word. If you know it's an O sound, you can put the hole in vav, it'll come up. But in the book here, they do a lot without the vav, but I guess that's just so they'll get you used to saying it. Because there's some things that they're not going to just use the whole, and they'll use the whole vav. But they do it in here, I guess, just so you can read it and know that that's what it is. Okay, before we do our own reading, let's do our conversation. All right, so we know that we can say hello or shalom. My name is, what is your name? And we say, how are you? And so today we're going to add good. Who knows the word for good? Tov. And what if you're not good? Low tov. So low is no, tov is good. So who, are there two volunteers that want to come up and say a little conversation for us so we don't all have to do it, or we can all do it together, I guess? Anybody want to volunteer? Does anybody want to do it with me? Shalom, anisu, mi'at. Naim el. Manishma. Tov or no tov? Tov. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Let's do it to your guy. Do you mind? Why don't you ask me?
Shalom, Ani, Jason, Miata?
Mi'at.
Mi'at, sorry.
Anisu.
Naimi, Mel,
Naim el.
Ma,
I didn't come outside
Anishma.
yet.
Manishma.
I'm
Anito.
gonna stick it up.
I'm good. Okay, Anito. So you got a little conversation there, okay? We got a tove and a low tove now, so you come in here and I ask you, Manishma, I want to hear tove, I don't want to hear low tove.
But what if it's low tone?
If it's low tove, you're going to have to speak the rest in the Hebrew. All right. All right. Now, in the book, I do like this one. For some reason, the mem in this one, mem Sophie, they have a lot. Okay, but we've got a lot of letters now. We've got, let's see, how many letters? I love this book because they introduce the letters that are used the most often, so we can use that in a lot of words. They don't start with the letters that are not used very often. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, basically 9 letters, and 5 vowels. So we got a lot of them here. Okay, are you ready to read? And Lisa's going to help us out here.
Okay.
So let's do page 39 with the words.
Page
Now
39.
remember, we're not exactly doing vocabulary, but since we're in a Messianic congregation, it'd be nice to know some words because we use them all the time.
Okay, so you want to start with the beginning of every.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. No, you want to do one? If not, you can. I'll jump in when you come back. Yes. Okay. Okay, Crystal, you can be ready?
No, I'll be all right.
Read this for us.
No. Shad.
Yes.
Oh,
you shall.
shad.
Yes. Wonderful.
Maror.
Yes.
Maror. Where do we do Maror? Which feast is Maror?
Passover.
Mhm.
Is it in Passover?
Passover.
Oh,
The
yes,
bitter herbs.
Yes.
Maror. So when you, now that you know these words, when you have your Seder plate, you're going to go, oh yeah, Maror, that's the bitter herbs. See how smart you're going to be?
Mabul, yes. Okay, that's good. Yes, love. Awesome. Listen.
No man?
Yes, excellent. Okay. Were you good? Okay. That's okay. Did you want to try or you want to? Okay, right here. So this is the long one. The left sound. And that's the O, and so it's low. And then this is the D and E, so it's low there. Okay. All right. Ready, Abby? Which word we're doing this one?
Oh, this one, okay. La vache.
Yes.
La vache.
Okay. Okay. Now, again with them. Crystal.
Sean.
Excellent. Sean, yes. Okay.
Sam, okay.
Me. We are right here. That's a scene. So that's gonna make this sad. That's the final name, so it's gonna make the end sound. Sound, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, Madeline? Yes, down. Okay, Esther? Yes, yes. Okay.
Marlon.
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 Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, ready to try this one? Okay, so this is a vowel. Da, and then da. And then this is da. And then this is vowel. Yes, awesome. Okay. Okay, ready? Yeah, baby, yes.
Shabbat.
Yes. Shabash. Okay. Let's see. Okay, which word? Okay, this one again. Shalom. Okay. Shalom. Yes, awesome. Yes. Yes, awesome.
Where are we at?
We are right here.
Code. Code.
Yes, go. Okay. And then, so here, so we have it. It's a D. Mm-hmm. There's an O. Door, yes. Okay, awesome. Okay. That's it.
Okay. Baru.
Oh, yes, okay. And then Crystal? They're sharing this dot here.
That's it, yeah, here's one where they're
Oh.
sharing the
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
that's shalosh.
The O sound?
Yes.
Shalosh.
Shalosh.
Wow.
I didn't know they would share a dot.
They can share a dot.
You can share dot. Yes. She used that example earlier. So you've got your, this is your T sound, and then your O. Okay. And then your yes. Okay, so you got it.
Okay, so on shalosh, you will see shalosh written with the whole of vav. Okay. You'll see it written with that a lot. Mainly because, like I said, in modern Hebrew, sometimes it's hard to tell if it's an O sound or if it's just attached to the sheen, right? So in modern Hebrew, you will see this more often, especially like for people who are just learning, okay? What is the shamash? It's in one of our feasts, not the holy ones, not the seven, but it's in one of our celebrations. Comes after Sukkot. Hanukkah. Okay, so the middle candle is the shamash. The shema. And what does the middle candle do? It lights all the other ones. And it just so happens that the word for sun, S-U-N, is shemesh, which means it's lighting up everything, right? It's attending to everything, the whole world. So that's the good thing about Hebrew, is that, and I'll tell you this in lesson 16, but the good thing about Hebrew is that you can look at the root and you can get kind of a meaning of what it kind of means if you know what the root kind of means. But it's hard to translate because you don't know what word exactly fits that Hebrew word in English. Okay? So that's why there's so many translations. Is because one person will look at the word and say, okay, it means this, but another one says, well, it actually, the deeper meaning is this. So that's why it's so hard. It's good in a way because, like the table. With the table, it meant, I understood it more, and it meant more to me. I mean, when my enemies are coming against me, I don't want to sit down and eat. but I sure want a plan. And so he's gonna give me a plan, so that's right. Any questions? Okay, you can work together on the rest of them if you want. This one has a lot of things for you to do, so that's kind of nice. All right.
You were sharing some floods a lot on this flood.
Mhm. You might try writing Shabbat Shalom. See if you can write Shabbat Shalom in cursive, because we know how to do it now. Now, remember, the good thing about Hebrew is that you don't necessarily have to put the vowels, right? Because sometimes if it's an ah, you don't know if it's a batak or a kamatz. So just don't write it. Can you write Shabbat Shalom?
Without the vowel?
With or without? What's it start with?
Shin.
Okay. Okay. What's next?
Cat.
Okay.
Ta.
Okay. What's next? Shalom.
Shin. Lama.
You want to put that in? Most of the time they do put the whole lot. What's it in with?
Min. Sa.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom.
Min. Sa.
Now, why, well, I'm glad we did this. Why do they do two B's? You're not going to see it written with one B. You're going to see it Shabbat. Because it's a doggish. The doggish in the middle of a word is basically doubly pronounced. So it makes it Shabbat. Because it's emphasized, right? Shabbat. That's why you're going to see it with two Shabbat. Even though when you look at the word here, it's only going to have one bet. Interesting how we've come up with these words. And here again, I don't know, I have not looked at the Torah to see if it has the doggish in there, but I think it probably does. The Torah does have doggishes, so as far as I know. I have one at home. I'll have to look that up. I hadn't ever thought about that.
Are we done? Do I turn it off? Okay.
Mm-hmm.